やだ。勝ったらあんた
何なりとご用。
番号1を背中
今日の占いは二強を示すべし。月城配置につきました。
弟子も見せ場が欲しいんだ。よいしょ。やだだ。心血。はい。
無限。はっ。よっ。よっ。はっ。はっ。はっ。
隙ありだ。ふっか。ハト。
はっ。はっ。修行が足りん。はっ。よっ。はっはっはっやっどうとせいはいせいほうそこが弱いのか。任せろ。
この歌で心を動かすわ。
そこだ。周期このやっ
ハト
一心具現避けろ。はっはっはっ引用創生命ずるはっ新規集結。 まだやられ足りないか。耐えてみせる。こたびも終わった。えいはっはっだはっやっださやっやっ
無意味なあがきです。
見切った。えっやっ終わりだ。チリやっさ幸福見切った。えっついはっはっ耐えてみせる。受けて立つ。はっだはっえっついだやっ刀はもう鞘だ。この木を逃さん。さあせっやっ耐えてみせる。望むところ。
時間の無駄です。
受けて立つ。やっやっはっやっへっ用心しろ。へっチリまだやられ足りないか。耐えてみせる。攻撃続行。うんはっついやっはっ
背後です。時間の無駄です。
見切った。
勝ったらあんたの
何なりとこ
1匹2匹揃っていますわね。
人は強し、飯はうまし。もつ炒めでもどうだ。
新商品続々入荷。寄ってらっしゃい、見てらっしゃい。
Yeah, so I contradict the Shingi episode happened yesterday. This one is like it starts with combat. Oh shit, I can't swap them out. Kind of sucks I can't even swap out to my own characters. I have to use their presets, but I guess it's fine because I don't have my Piper is not super well built. Like Piper's not like completely unbuilt, but I don't think she has like perfect stats. And I don't think I've maxed out her like skills because it's like I could max out her skills, or I could max out like 5 S ranks skills and get much more worth.
お手伝いに来たよ。燃えてるね若いの。急に消えちゃった。なんでだろう。もっと笑ってよ。なんで知り合い風なんで？取っといて。シートベルト締めとけ。ねえねえ、この先に人がいない？サクッと片付けて見に行くわぜ。とりゃーよっ。
ありがとね。まだウニは見張らされてる。
また来た。
まだやんのか。
平気、任せて。
気ぃつけろ。
ありがとう。
バーニス、そろそろ締めようぜ。
オッケー。最新のレシピだよ。
Oh, that was a cool cinematic scene.
どういたしまして。おばあちゃんに大丈夫だよパイパー。このおばあ
嬉しいことを言ってくれるね。
私が90歳になった。
私はまだ9。ああ、ニス。
こっちとらこ。
そうなのかい？
結論を言っ
お金90億でもあんたは
これって
以前宝くじ売り場を通りかかったと買った時、手のひらが熱くなるのを感じてとてもいい感じがしたんだ。長く生きてたら
私も泳げん。プロ棋士。
宝くじでバーニスが入っ
その通り。何事も楽。現実ってのは嫌なもんだろ。
おかえり。 私が今何考えてたか当ててみて。3、2、1、正解は250万の大金をどうやって山分けするかでした。10分離れてただけなのになんで50万も増えてるんでいい。私の株もあんまりハッピーじゃなさそうだね、パイパー。いつも他のトラックドラ私たちが好きなのは宝くじで当たるいいか、バーニス。宝くじを買うってのは科学でもあり全然わかんないだよな。闇深すぎて私も詳しく説明できないけど。まだ抽選も始まってない。
You say no way? What do you mean? I mean, unless the stores know what numbers are going to win. So if the store picks the numbers, then you can't win. You know, like if the store picks the numbers, they know what the winning numbers will be, so they can be like, cool, we'll just give you everything but those numbers. So that could be the 5% Dark Society that she's talking about. But it's like, in theory, that shouldn't happen, because, right, like, you don't know what the winning numbers will be. So if they're picking numbers, I mean, them picking random numbers should be the same as anyone else picking random numbers. Shouldn't really matter who picks the numbers for a truly random lottery. And even if it wasn't truly random, it's like, actually, no, I guess, I was going to say, like, you know, you could be like, even if you don't know exactly what the numbers are, you could know, like, hey, these numbers, there could be, like, certain numbers the store will just never recommend, and those numbers will always be in the final victory. You know, like 31, maybe 31 will sometimes appear in the grand prize. Like, maybe there's like a few numbers, like 31 and 58 are two numbers that will always appear in the grand prize, and the stores will just never pick either of them for you. You know, if stores know certain numbers, like, there could be like 5 numbers or something that, like, one of those 5 will always appear in the grand prize lottery, and the store will never pick those 5 for you. It could be something like that, where it's like, yeah, we know that there is a pattern, and we know that the winning lottery number will have one of these 5 numbers in it. And, you know, it's just one of them, right? There's, in the final thing of like the 5 or 6 numbers, one of them will be of this small subset. We don't know which one, but so as long as you just make sure that the random picks never include any of those numbers, you'll never be able to have a random store pick get it. But, you know, that's obviously reading way too far into it. Yeah, I don't dislike Piper's ability. Like, her ability is pretty fun. Spin to win playstyle. The issue is just her energy. Like, it's always really rough. Because she needs, like, pretty much maxed out energy. She needs to have, like, 75% of her energy before she can even start her, well, her EX special. It's possible that I can do a shittier version of her spin just by pressing without full energy. But I think if I check her out, like, I obviously, as you can see, I have built it, you know? But, like, I haven't maxed out this. As you can see, energy regen is one of her things. Yeah, so it just increases her build-up rate. I mean, I have, you know, built up her skills for the most part. I only got them to +7, but because she's maxed Mindscape, she gets an additional +4. Okay, so yeah, actually, I don't know. Oh no, here's the EX special. Oh, I guess I just want to tell you. Okay, so that's the special attack. So it's 518, 385, and then 18? Yeah. Oh, I see. There it is. No, that's just Radiant Heavy. Okay, so that must be the 518 corresponds to this 1170. And days multiplier is 577. Okay, so it is definitely a lot more. Almost double damage for that first hit. Anyway. Her energy regen is actually not too bad. I think they recommend giving her energy for this, right? Or is that what it is? Oh, no, yeah. Anomaly Mastery. So this could be energy regen. No, Anomaly Mastery. Percent attack. Which makes sense, because you want to max out your anomaly proficiency. Yeah, not surprising. Okay, so the main thing is that, because it seems like most of your damage comes from assault. But does this give energy? No, it's all about anomaly. Nah, it's whatever. Either way, I have her built, just not like super well. Like I don't have her ideal equipment. I don't have her ideal. I don't have her ideal equipment. It's not leveled. Like even if I leveled it, so it's fun enough to play. But like just getting. It's hard to start, especially when you go into this because you start with 0 energy. So she's pretty useless at that point. Oh, okay. Yeah, now it's going back to Wise, presumably to wrap up the quest. Oh, no, I see. They did mention the lottery. I didn't realize we're actually going to our television to watch. Yeah, but $10 says she wins. Like $10 she wins the grand prize. Because like Piper was so against it, like, oh, there's no way she's gonna win the grand prize with the numbers the store gives you. So I'm like, yeah, but she's gonna win flat out. Yeah, call it.
本当に だってあのおばあちゃんは私たち3人に感謝してたで。バーニス。どうしたいや、なんで。バーニス、本当？なんだか急に褒められてるよ。いや、どうかな。プロ騎士はともかく、私のトラックで一番セクシーなとこはヘッドライトじゃなくて、若さが眩しい。まあ、じゃあ私とパイパーは帰ろっか。安心して、大事な宝。演技でもないこと言ってくれるな。
So the question, of course, is, I assume we're going to be attacked for it, right? I assume we're going to try to redeem it, and we're going to get attacked, or something's going to steal the ticket and go into the hollow, and that's obviously why we're going to go back into the hollow to do some more fighting. But my bet is that the ticket's going to get destroyed at some point. Basically, we're going to get into a huge fight over the ticket with lots of other people, and maybe even Burnice. Either Burnice will intentionally or unintentionally burn it up. And then they'll be like, whoops. You know? And he's like, well, whatever, like, you know, look at what it's done to people, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, that's kind of my expectation. That's kind of how these, like, lottery... Oh, wow, combat in this one, too. Yeah, so that's usually how, like, that's usually the cliche for these, it's usually, like, that's usually how these goes, is that it's like, oh, someone wins the lottery, there's a lot of fighting, and then the person who won is like, you know what? I don't have to deal with any of this shit. I'm going to burn it up, or I'm going to destroy it. Look, there's no lottery ticket now. Now you can go back to normal, blah, blah, blah. That's the cliche, where it's like, someone wins the lottery, people fight over it, lottery ticket is destroyed to stop people from fighting. Wait. So, today was the day you're going to redeem the ticket, and you decide to go into the hollow to test a vehicle first? Like, why? Yeah, so this is obviously still going in, although these are all in combat, so I think we might be done with... I'm not sure. Like, I forget at what point we stopped going in for, like, television character quests. Like, we're obviously going in for a fight, but the combat ones are just, like, going through a 3D environment to fight. It was the early story ones that were like, oh, go into television, navigate through TVs to do all this shit, which took a long time and no one really liked it. And that's basically why they phased it out. But I forget specifically when they phased it out, because obviously I just did Ching Yi's one, which is the one right before this, that still had it. I think Ching Yi's one was like patch like 1.2, I think, something like that. And this is like patch 1.3. So it's hard to say. You know, it's like, it's the patch right after. Like, when specifically did they, you know, start incorporating it? It could just be pure luck, right? It could just be pure coincidence. Because, like, it only seemed to really matter when it was going to the televisions. And not all character quests did that. Some character quests were purely just like, oh no, it's a combat thing. You know, just into a red combat arena. Dude, I can't fucking dodge! It's so fucking annoying! I fucking hate this bullshit where it's like, hey, oh, you got hit by something? Cool, well you just can't fucking move. Nothing you do matters. And like, the damage it was doing was negligible. Like, look at that, I lost like a 300 health total of 11,000. But it's just fucking annoying. You know? It's just fucking annoying to deal with, right? Because it's just like, oh, whoops, you got hit. Like, I thought I could get my spin off in time. I was wrong. And then I just kept getting fucked by... So it's like I made a bad judgment call, sure. Like, it was obviously my fault. If I had dodged from the beginning, I thought I could get my spin off in time, but I couldn't. And then I'm just getting smacked by his spin, which is like really fucking annoying, because I can't, like, get out of it at all. Like, I was button mashing X, it wasn't fucking doing shit. I had to wait for him to stop, which is fucking annoying. Like, at every single... No matter your stance, you should always be able to dodge. There should always be a method for you to get yourself out of a problem that you may have caused yourself. You know? Always. Because the lack of player agency feels like shit. Feels like shit when you make one mistake and you get punished for it multiple times.
まあやれるもんならって感じ。アイアンタスクに手を出さなけりゃ相手しなかったんだけどね。
See, like that. He took two hits, but then there was a gap. And because there was a gap, I was able to sneak in and dodge the third hit. It was bam, bam, bam. Which is fine. Like, two small hits is like whatever, right? It just really sucks when you're just like, oh, whoops, you need to... Oh, shit. Because, like, two hits is like whatever, right? Two small hits, fine. But the tough thing is that you might be like, oh, the patterns, it's like whatever, it's just two small hits. The problem is, it's endemic to their combat system. It was two small hits because of that enemy, but there are other enemies that are not doing small hits, they're doing big hits. And so you get fucked by one, and you get fucked by the other immediately afterwards, because that's just how it is. It's the attack pattern that fucks you over. It's like the new weekly boss is exactly like that, where he's like, not for all of his hits, oftentimes he does give you a break in between, which you're supposed to be using to be ready to dodge or counter the next one. But there is one attack he does that it's just like constant slashes. It's like slash, 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 slash. So it's like if you miss one, I think it's just slow enough where you can actually dodge in between, but like the timing of that dodge is insane, because it's like a fraction of a second you have a fraction of a second window to dodge, because like you're smacked, you're basically stun locked, and it takes you like a fraction of a second to go back into a neutral stance, and from there you can dodge. But you only have a fraction of a second from after you've recovered from the hit to hit that dodge button before the next hit comes in. So it's very, very tight. So it feels like you're just getting absolutely juggled, although technically you can succeed. You can get around it. It is possible. It's just very difficult. And I still don't like that, because when you're fucking it up, it does feel like because like if you're just button mashing X to dodge, you can still miss those moments, which just feels like shit. It feels just as bad as when you're just being juggled with no recourse whatsoever.
それでも郊外で育った俺は命をかけてこの島を守る。たとえ億万長者のガソリン狂い。私よりもガソリンに狂ってる人がいるの？
あいつが言ってるのは、
私はそんなことしないよ。郊外の土地なんて誰から買えるか。
300万ポッチ。兄貴、養育費の話は置いといて、さっきのは噂の中で。でも
そう言われたら、
どうバーニー。
みんな腹を空かせてるってのに。大丈夫っすよ、兄貴。
Oh, is she just gonna give it away? That could be the other thing. Because I think in the cover art of the quote unquote movie, so like these all character quests appear as VHS tapes within our video archive, and the cover art for her VHS tape was her and Piper in a Corvette zipping around. But it could be that she gets all the money and just like throws it out the window as she drives through the outer ring, essentially redistributing the wealth. Because obviously they're giving a huge long sad sap story of like, oh man, life sucks for me. Like, my children need money, blah 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 blah. So, so it's hard to tell.
それは本当か大丈夫っす兄貴
そうそう君も前の奥
昨日が
ならその子のために第20回倍に
俺は一体なんて腹が減ってなけりゃ
Oh, okay, so maybe she's not going to just throw it away, but she's going to... I think it's definitely in line with her. Still, though, 1 million Denny's. It's hard to say, because, like, this is a Chinese company, and, like, if you want to correlate Denny's to, like, one, it's not exactly the same. I think it's, like, 8-1 for $1, but I just rounded up to 10. So $1 million... $1 million Denny if we want to pretend that this, because like that's kind of how most people like do prizes. Like that's how most companies make prizes. They base it off their own currency. So like 1 million won would be around like 100,000 American dollars. If this was like Japan, it's about 100 yen for $1. This is not precise. Like there are obviously the exchange rates do fluctuate, and even I know like. It's like 8 won for $1, so it's like, you know, it's not exactly 10. That's even more off. I think Japan is definitely closer to 100 yen for $1. But like that would only be $10,000, and $10,000 I could see just making a decent party. Because you might think, oh, $1 million, like $1 million dollars would actually be insane. Like there's no way in hell you could spend $1 million on. Well, I mean, not no way. I guess like I say, there's no way you could spend $1 million on a party. As well, I guess. There are things you could do at a party that would cost a shitload of money if you were intentionally trying to drive up the cost. Huh, so it seems unlikely she's going to burn the ticket because they have this, you know, relatively altruistic party to fund. Oh, okay. Okay, so we have the money. So the ticket has been redeemed. So that's obviously my guess of what was going to happen is obviously bullshit. Because we have all gotten our money. I don't think you pay taxes immediately on it, do you? Or is it... I mean, taxes are usually paid at the end. Unless, I mean, it could be I mean, I don't know. Like, I've never actually participated in the lottery, so I don't know. I do know that they take a shitload of money from... They do take a shitload of taxes from it. But I didn't know if it was something like you had to claim on your taxes and then you pay taxes on it later. Or... I guess, nah. I guess that'd make it too easy for fraud, right? You get the money right then and there, then you fucking bail. So they probably want to get taxes immediately. Give you the post-tax amount. One, it makes it easier for people, so they don't have to, like... think about it. They don't have to go back. And two, it avoids the situation where someone gets a big pile of money and then just fucking bails and goes to another country and avoids paying taxes on it entirely. Oh, wait, what? Did I seriously get... Oh, wow, I actually get 300,000. Goddamn. That's really cool. Like, I heard that, but I thought it was just going to be like, oh, that 300,000 goes into your, you know, that 300,000 goes into your communal bank. It's like, cool, I transferred I transferred the money to Wise, or I transferred it to our, business account. I didn't think they'd actually be like, yeah, here you go. Here's 300,000. That's pretty cool. Like, I'll burn through 300,000 like no other. Like getting the last passive tier of a skill. Like the base skill, the base character skill. The sixth tier is 200,000 alone. So just getting 1.5 skills leveled to 6. The base talent skill. Oh, interesting. So there's combat in every single one of these events. Interesting. I guess that kind of makes up for Chingy's. Chingy's was just cutscenes for the first, cutscenes for the second, and then a seemingly never-ending television-based combat mission for the last one. This one has just all combat, but the combat missions themselves are pretty simple. It's like, what, 2 or 3 waves of enemies? 2 or 3 little fights for a battle? Although, who knows, maybe this one will be longer.
おいし。
聞かないで。最近いろいろなことがあって。
二人とも何があったの？ハエ取り紙にひっついたネズミみたいな雰囲気。時に大人の笑顔は消えたってもう使っちゃったってこと？税金払っても結構残るよね。にゃ。けど大体合ってるか。その時トラック用のエンジンで見せてもらったらこれがえらくべっぴんさんでさ。覚えてるよ。あの時のアイアンタスクバイクに負けないくらいそこがな。燃焼効率を犠牲にパワーを出す。今アイアンタスクが使ってる燃料は確かやんでいい。元のエンジンに戻してやる。だから市場で燃費を上げる部品を買い漁ったり1時間1万リニーも取る。まあ要するにまるで富士の病にかかった奥さんを諦めないけない。私の奥さんじゃなくて私の車は富士の。
パイパー、こんなの大した気や。
プロキシも確かに新エリ。
Wait, what?
車を改造したわけじゃないんだけど、他にいろいろお金がかかりすぎて。
私たちみたいなのが一番に避けなきゃ。でもまあ、いい方にまた褒められちゃった。そうじゃなくて。
Wait, oh, so... Well, I wouldn't say we lost the money. I don't know, they say IOU. So the question is, did the friend lose the money? Like, or are we just waiting for the investment, right? So he's like, oh, yeah. It depends on what they mean by invest, right? Do we lend it to a friend to invest in stocks? Like, is he a stockbroker? And we're like, here's some money, buy some stocks, and invest it for us to help us for the future. Or was it some guy a friend coming up and say, hey, I'm about to start a business. I need some money to, invest in it. You'll be a part owner of this new company. Because, like, there's a huge difference between those two things, There's a huge difference between those two things. It's like, yeah, if it's investing in stocks, then I wouldn't say we lost the money. I would just say we're waiting for a return on our investment. In fact, our money is still there. We can just sell the stock at any point, right? It'd be one thing if we invested in stock and it tanked, and then, yeah, we lost it. But the fact they mentioned IOU makes it seem like it's more like the latter, where it's someone who needs money to start for a company startup, and then so right now we're just kind of waiting for their company to kick off and start earning money so they can give it to us back, and so that's why it's an IOU. They've borrowed the money to do something, and they know they owe us. But at that point, I wouldn't say I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's lost, although you could, I mean, for all intents and purposes it is, sure, I get it. But, like, that's also stupid, right? So, oh, we also lost, well, you didn't lose the money. You had the money. Sure, you paid taxes and finished up your bills and stuff. You finished up you paid off all the money you owed. But then you chose to invest it. It's not like you lost it somewhere. Like, you could have easily just said no, you know? So, like, I do find that a little dumb, where it's like, well, no, like, it's not really what happened. Like,
例えばプロキシちゃん、君と友達になれたのはすっごくハッピー。でも君が友達になりたいって思ってくれたのは今の私だよね。だから誰かのために自分を変えることはしないよ。
Yeah, so, you know, hers is like, yeah, you know, you got a new engine. First of all, I mean, you still have the engine, right? And you did, like, buy parts. So, like, your parts, you do have, your truck is really powerful and strong and fast. And you did buy a bunch of energy-saving parts. You just weren't able to improve its fuel efficiency to a great degree to rectify the consumption of the new engine. But still, like, you have all those things. You just kind of blew all, you still now have no money. For us, it's like, well, we owed money, so the fact that that's gone and we no longer owe money is great. And technically, if whoever we lent the money to comes back, we'll get it all back again, and maybe even more. You know, that's usually how it works. So, anyway, so yeah, it's, oh, wait, we're gonna, fuck, I wasn't paying attention. Why are we going to the hallway? Okay. So they did already do the party. That's pretty cool. Wait, so we've already spent the money, then why the fuck are we going in here?
私は超元気だぜ。
そりゃあ。あ、いや。
Yeah, her assault is insanely high. That's really good damage. I hate this one.
今のなんだろう。
追いかけてみようぜ。
パイパー見て、またあの変な敵だよ。
怪我しないよう気つけろ。
うっさいね。ドキドキ。
食い打ち。
お手伝いに来たよ。いいじゃん。
バーニス、休憩休憩。
急に消えちゃった。なんでだろう。アナが私と踊ってる。私のこと覚えてる？
ちょい待ち。なんか既視感が。
さあ？指導。バーニス、よし、私とハッピーになろうね。
しっかり捕まってろ。
ねえねえ、 の先に人がいない？
Same old lady?
またちょい待ち。私だけか？
Oh, that's old man?
なん
まだ取り出してもいないのにどうして分かったのかね。
当たりか。
若者の間で流行っているドッキリか。それ
運命って本当に不思議。まず落ち着こう。私は政府のエージェントじゃないから。隣にいる2人はちょっと保証できないけど。私たち長い付き合いだろう。ちゃんと保証してくれ。
分かった。君は初恋の人に似ているから信じよう。
ありがとう。これって300万リニーが当たる奇跡の宝くじ。すごい。3000万もあったら火山を改装してニトロヒューエルの噴水にできちゃうかな。3000万？いやいや、3000万どころかやばい、パイパー。でもこの宝くじからは確かに幸運のエネルギーを感じるよ。それはプロ棋士、考えすぎだって。
Okay, so, yeah, so in this case, they've obviously fallen. They think they're going to win. It's not going to win. It's going to fail. They're going to get like $3 or something.
私ね、ニトロヒューエルで満たされた火山湖のね。ハイアンタスク、待ってろよ。私はお前を諦めない。ほらプロ棋士ちゃん、ぼーっとしてちゃダメ。私とバーニスはさ。
Wait, what? Is this a dream or something? How is that even possible? I was assuming that because their hopes were so high that it was going to fail, and that, you know, that was going to be the, kind of like the joke at the end. Hey, yeah.
いいニュースもあるけど、悪い？いや、いいニュースから。私もいいニュース。
Oh, I see. Did it win, but it's not the current ticket? I see, like, i.e., the numbers are exactly the same, but this is a lottery ticket from 10 years ago or something. Because remember, he said he had this as a lucky charm. So it could be that it's really old. You know? It could be that it's, it could be that it's a, because he said he's had super good luck since he's gotten it. So it could be like it's a 30-year-old ticket or something. So while the numbers do match up, it obviously has expired.
酷かもしれないけど、この宝くじ発行さ
Yeah,
れたの
okay.
去年。じゃあ換金の期限はっていうざ
Okay.
おーでもさ、味方
I thought it was older than that. 'Cause he made it seem like it was his lucky charm and he's had good luck for a long, long time. I assumed it was like many, many years old. But, I mean, my guess was correct. They had just barely missed the jackpot, whereas, I mean, I don't get it though. Like, this is from a year ago, and the prize pool just ended. It's like, well, then why is it in the newspaper still, right? Like, if this is a lottery ticket from a year ago, then how are you still able to check the winning lottery numbers in the current newspaper? Wouldn't the current newspaper have the current lottery number ticket, like the current ticket holder winner?
どうパイパー、そう考えたら、そうそう、私ハッピーに笑ってるパイパーが一番。パイパー、大丈夫？とっくに分かってたはずなのにな。ごめんよ、アイアンタスク。
Well, to be fair, you still have the engine, right? Sure, you tried as best as you could to make it work, but the engine is still there, and the engine still does work. So you could just take your time tinkering with it over the next few years to actually make it as good as you want.
なんて？言ってなかったっけ？前回の試運転からずっと私もアイアンタスクの燃費について考えてた。今朝新しいレシピをママって感じ。前のエンジンより 10% くらい燃費が悪くなったし、ちょっとだけいいやつをブレンドし、アイアンタスクが最高のパフォーマンス。そうだな。分かってるって。今すぐが。
Yeah, because like, I don't know, they say nitro fuel, but like they drink it, so it can't be like gasoline. So it must be different, right? Like there must be nitro fuel must be the drink, and then like they use something else for actual gasoline.
多分そこに一晩で大金持ちになってさ、人生が変わっても一人ぼっちじゃいないもんな。
Unless maybe nitro fuel and the fuel is used as gasoline is actually the same stuff, but it's like made out of ether. So essentially these are ether engines, and humans can drink ether. I don't know. You'd think if it has enough ether to power an ether engine, it would need to be pretty concentrated, which, you know, isn't that the whole, like, isn't that what causes corruption? So maybe there are different. They just use them so, not really interchangeably, but they use them often and frequently, and it's hard to tell. They aren't explicit, so like, we assume that they were using gasoline, but then, you know, she loves nitro fuel. She drinks nitro fuel. Everyone loves nitro fuel, and then she also made a fuel. You know, was able to tinker with actual fuel. It makes me think that they're one and the same. Her love of nitro fuel. You know, nitro fuel equals fuel. So whatever. Doesn't really matter now. Not at all. Like it's such a minor thing. We gave it to her for investment? Jesus Christ, that was stupid. Yeah, exactly. Like, if her investment instincts were any good, she wouldn't be so desperately poor all the time, right? If she was really good at investing, like, I understand that, like, you need to have money to make money, right? So she could be this because of all of her other expenses. You know, she's just not able to raise the capital to make it big. But the fact of the matter is she had capital. So, like, she is getting lucky. So with all this luck she's gotten, there's no way she couldn't have raised at least enough capital to continue making more money. So the only reasonable explanation is that her bad luck is worse than her good luck. Or her bad luck is more than her good luck. Yeah, because we're going to lend it to a friend. Because, yeah, I see this box art, so I was like, oh, did they make it big? And she, threw the money trying to redistribute the wealth. I was like, oh, no, she said a big party. Okay, that's fine. That's kind of cool. It's kind of fun. Okay, so I just have one more, and it's just Lighter's Quest. I'm not going to do it today, but, that's the only one that I have left to do. That's kind of cool. Let's see, and there's no new helper bros, right? Yeah, it seems like they just gave up on this, because this is the stuff that brought you into the television shit, more often than not. So it seems like they've long since given up on that. So I'm actually curious. Now that I've done pretty much all but one, these should look mostly done, right? It's because what I would do is I would just be pulling, and I'm going to pull soon, but I had a moment, so I was doing my workout, so I've been walking for the last hour and 15 minutes while I was doing Burnice's character quest, because it lasted an hour, but pulling doesn't take that much time, and it's also kind of it's really boring to do, so the reason why I walk while I do my game, or I play games while I walk on my treadmill, is because it distracts me. I thought it was interesting. A little bit cliche. It was a silly story, so it was fun. It's about winning the lottery and the ups and downs of all that shit. So it was a fun, silly little. Hey, what the fuck? How am I still missing? How am I missing combat events here? I've done all quests. I only have Lighter's quest left. How am I missing 12 combat? That's 4 events. Yeah, basically there was taxes. So they won the lottery, so that they helped someone in the Hollow, and they were given a lottery ticket, which ended up winning $3 million. And so because the 3 of us went in and helped this person to get the lottery ticket, it was split evenly amongst us. So we took the million, and it ended up being just $300,000 after taxes, and then we had to pay off all our debts. And then we invested it with a friend. So it was a whole thing of we met later to talk about how much money we had left over. And pretty much all 3 of us had nothing left over. We invested with a friend who turned out to be Nicole. I'm just what the fuck would you give her money for investment? No, fuck, that's a bad idea. But then one of them bought a really good motor for their car, but because of its poor fuel efficiency, they ended up spending the rest of their money trying to get it to not suck. And the third, who was always Burnice, who was always kind of happy-go-lucky and stuff, was always going to spend her money to have a party for everybody. So that's all nice and good. Okay, so yeah, I'm missing 6 things from this as well. So I don't know. I don't know why I'm missing. I don't know how I'm missing combat events. I'm missing Lighter's Quest. So I haven't done Lighter's Quest at all. So Lighter's Quest should be something here. One of these things should include Lighter's thing. But I'm missing way more than that. I'm missing 6 from one of these, which is okay, that could be Lighter. Doing Lighter's Quest might get me the missing ones from this. I could get that. But it's also kind of weird because I'm just but I'm missing something from Chapter 2, and I'm missing a shitload of stuff from Chapter 2. So I have no fucking clue how that's possible. Or, yeah, from here, maybe. I'm missing 6 from here. This could be Lighter's thing. Lighter's could be the 2 combat events here. There could be 2 combat events for Lighter's character quest. But that doesn't explain how I'm missing, It can't be. Or wait, because I've done all quests. This is my quest log. You've done everything. Wait for new quests. And then they also did it from like, they also did it from these. They used to have like help request info stuff here, but they basically stopped doing that because these would basically take you into a television, and basically no one liked them. Everyone was bitching and moaning, saying, "Hey, Mihayo, these suck. Stop doing them." So Mihayo was like, "Fuck it, okay, we'll stop." So like I've done all quests, I think, unless I don't know. Actually, maybe not. Maybe there might be a quest in the overworld. Maybe. Now that, because like I haven't really explored the old area, so it's possible there might be a quest giver somewhere out and about in the world. But I was kind of waiting for like Lighter's quest to finish, because I think there was like one time too where like I did a character quest, and because I did that, all of a sudden a new quest popped up. So I was like, okay, let me do all character quests first, so that I know, so I have a final count of how many I'm missing. And I only have one more. Lighter is the only one I have not done. So, I'm almost there. So, we'll see. Hopefully, pretty sure that was it, so. It could be, but it's super weird because, like, I'm missing... assuming Lighter gives me 2 combat quests, because one of the chapters was missing 2. 6 points, you get 3 points a quest. But one of them was missing 12, so I'm missing 4 points, or 4 trips into the Hollow. So the agent stories are done. Python's story is the main story quest, and I have 100% done with that. The only other thing could be these special episodes, but I've done them all. There's only 3, too, so it's like, and I've done them all, so it can't be these, I don't think. Complete. So, hard to say. Yeah, as I said, the only thing could be that it could be that there is some random NPC out in the street, and they just assumed, oh yeah, well, you're gonna do these quests while they're current, and then wander the streets, so, you know, you'll come across them, so maybe that's it. Maybe I just gotta wait. Maybe I just gotta, you know, just gotta go actually hit the streets, look for any quest givers. I don't know if they appear on the map until I actually show up. I can see some of the trust events, but I can't see some of the other stuff. So, yeah, whatever. It's mostly focused on character quest, and then I'll know what I'm missing, and then I can go search for it. Because at that point, I could also just look it up. Once I know specifically what chapter they're from, I could just look up a guide and be like, hey, what are all the combat missions from this? Where do I get the quests? And then they might be like, oh, actually, once you've done this character quest, if you go to this location, it'll be there. And it could be just that simple. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and log off. I will probably be back on in like an hour or two, just to do my pulls for Honkai Star Rail. Because I'm going to get Saber, and I mean, I guess by default I'm going to get Archer too. And so we'll see. I don't know. It's a tough question, because it's like I want to pull for Saber, and I want to pull for Saber's weapon, but I need Archer's weapon too. And I was actually going to pull for Archer. Like if you had to actually pull for Archer's weapon, I was going to pull for it, because I'm like, well, like you got to get his weapon, because once the collab's over, you're never going to get it again. So, and then they were like, oh, actually, you can get 200 pulls gets you it for free. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then I don't have to pull for it myself. The problem comes from like if I'm just normal lucky, like if I'm, yeah, and this is like, well, shit, right? Because like even if I'm bad lucky, but even if I get hard pity, but also I'm lucky and I win my 50-50 and 75-25, that's only 120 or 180 pulls. And realistically, you're gonna get the thing at like 80-ish, right? Yeah, and that's the thing. So it's like I don't want to spend extra, but I also don't want to lose my 50-50, right? So like if I win my 50-50 and win my 75-25 for Saber and her weapon, then I'll still be like 50 pulls short or so from getting Archer's Light Cone. So it's like I don't want to lose. Like, losing a 50-50 sucks. But if I don't lose, then I would still have to continue pulling anyway, even after I have the character and the weapon, just so I can get Archer's weapon. Which is like, it's a weird feeling. Like, I want to be lucky, but I also, like, if I'm too lucky, like, what happens if my first 10 pull gets Saber, right? And then I'm like, and my first 10 pull gets her weapon. So then I would have to pull 180 more times to get Archer's light cone when I already have the two characters I wanted, right? But, like, I don't want to not get the weapon, because then Archer will just kind of suck. Because I'm not going to get constellations on him, so it's like his weapon is the best way to improve his power and improve his usability. So yeah, it's just, you know, it's first world problems. I mean, push comes to shove, if I get that lucky, I'll just get more on Saber's banner and get a constellation or two. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, it's just one of those kind of weird things where you're just like, generally you just always want to be lucky, because the sooner you pull and the sooner you get them, the sooner you can stop and the more you can save. And so you could be like, cool. Oh yeah, I mean, I do have some. Like, I have other weapons. But, I mean, the idea is that usually their weapon is, like, perfectly suited for them. And so, like, it often seems like their weapon essentially is, like, the equivalent of getting a constellation for them, where it's like, yeah, them with their weapon versus them with one constellation, usually them with a weapon is still a stronger thing. And it depends. Like, I actually haven't read his kit at all. I kind of saw their animations, but I didn't actually see what any of them do or what they scale off of or anything like that. But there are some, like, things where, like Cypher, for instance, scales heavily off of speed. So the fact that her light cone boosts her speed as well as all the other things she needs is, like, insanely helpful. So it's stuff like that, where it's like, the thing is usually, like, there's multiple things built into the light cone that, like, is perfectly okay. So most of his damage comes from his skill. Is it Salcedo is skill and ultimate? No. Salcedo is ultimate and follow-up attack. And then, so he's SP hungry. I mean, that's pretty much every single hunt character. Every hunt character needs fuckloads of skill points. Yeah. I mean, Sparkle's good for any SP negative characters. And I don't know, Hunt always seems to be kind of like the worst. 2 extra skill points or 2 extra, like, 2? It depends, though. Like, it depends on how often you can trigger it. But either way, like, even if Seele had that kind of thing, it doesn't really help her, because she consumes skill points way too fast. But anyway, yeah. Oh, I see. So Archer's talent increases it to 2. So what, with Archer and Sparkle, you have, like, 10 skill points or something? Because Sparkle increased them by 2. You go from 5 to 7. If Archer increases them by 2 again, then you'll have, like, 9. Or 8 if it's 1. I mean, increasing the cap is kind of okay. I mean, it's not super helpful. Like, it's good because... let's see. Okay, and if you're a Sparkle... No, if it's with Sparkle, then it's 2. Because Sparkle increases it by 2. So it goes from 5 to 7. And then with... if it's at 9 now, then it would be 2. So both Sparkle and Archer give an extra 2 to the cap. But that's not, like, the only reason why it's kind of helpful for Sparkle is because she has her ultimate increases it, gives you 4 skill points back right away. And so that's why it's like, oh, you want to have the extra cap so that you can use your skill more, or use your burst more frequently. So you don't have to wait until you're only at 1 skill point left before Sparkle does her burst to get 4 skill points back. With a higher cap means, like, you have a little more wiggle room. But if he doesn't get skill points back, then, I mean, it's whatever. It's fine. We'll see how he shakes out. Like, I mean, he's free, so I'll obviously try to use him at some point. We'll see. We already have I already beat Apocalyptic Shadow, and then the next thing coming off cooldown is Pure Fiction, which he's probably not going to be good at because he's Hunt. So I guess we'll have to wait for next Memory of Chaos to see how Archer stacks up to that. So I think it's like 3 to 4 weeks from now. So we shall see. So yeah, looking forward to Saber. Well, that's pretty good. And there's follow-up attacks. I like follow-up attacks. Elation has always been one of my favorite paths in Simulated Universe. Like, follow-up attacks were always kind of fun, and then the Elation aftertaste damage always felt super powerful. Like, I used like Elation path all the time back in early Simulated Universe, and then they kind of like balanced it out so you could actually do other paths and they weren't terrible. Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely do the trials. That's kind of basically my my new patch stuff. It's like I'll probably pull on Saber first. Yeah. Well, I mean they. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I really liked Elation because like it was it was like you could get skill points for follow up attacks. So if you had a heavy follow up attack team, you'd be just getting skill points all the time. So you could have like shitloads of skill point usage, and you just all your follow up attack give them back. You can increase your attack and you can increase your party wide. I think party wide attack and defense through follow up attacks, which helps Adventurine and everybody. Your follow up attacks could delay enemies. You could the 3-star buffs for Elation would be like it turns your ultimate. Your ultimate is now considered a follow up attack, and then basically the idea is that after every follow up attack, you also do aftertaste damage, which would be an extra portion of damage. It's essentially like doubling your damage flat out. Sometimes even tripling it, because sometimes it would not just be one hit of aftertaste; it would be multiple hits. So it's like, oh, you do one follow up attack. Well, guess what? You get to do 2 additional aftertaste attacks of a random element that do like 75% the damage of the first hit. So like with that, you would just be like stacking up shitloads of hits, and it would just like absolutely destroy them. And then they're just triggered off a follow up attack. So like no matter which character you did, it would just be really really helpful. You get a lot of buffs, and then like you can heal after a follow up attack. It was just like you could do literally everything with a follow up attack. Like it heals, buffs, everything, and all you have to do is follow up attacks. It was super super helpful and super useful, because like it didn't really even matter who was doing the follow up attack. It's just like just triggering the aftertaste damage would do so much damage, and then your follow up attacks could delay enemies as well. There's a 3-star buff that would delay enemies up to a certain amount of times with every single follow up attack you did. But if you have a follow up attack team, you're just it would be really really helpful. Like, I think early on I did dot teams, but then dot teams kind of fell off, and then we started getting more follow-up attack teams, and then, I was just running Elation for so much stuff. It made Swarm, I didn't really do Golden Gears that much, but, like, it made a lot of Simulated Universe stuff pretty easy, because, like, you just trigger it so frequently. And so there was also back in the day where, like, you got that, like, mega attack you could do that your Aeon would pop up and do some mega attack. And all that stuff is usually triggered by like doing the thing that it was for. So it's like, oh yeah, if you got the Nihility one, you could afflict them with all the sorts of dots and shit. But it would be triggered based on did you apply a dot? Cool, the gauge goes up. Did you take damage from a dot? Okay, cool, the gauge goes up. Whereas follow-up attacks, because if you have a heavy follow-up attack team, you're just doing follow-up attacks all the fucking time. So your gauge fills up super fucking easily, and then you can just keep blasting them with this AoE attack that does shitloads of aftertaste damage. Shitloads of damage that would trigger aftertaste and of all elements. It was fucking insane. Like, it was really, really, really powerful. It just made it super easy. Like, if I wanted to have an easy time at the older Simulated Universes, it would just be like, just do an Elation. Do a follow-up attack team with Elation. It was really easy. Because, like, Hunt was kind of weird. Because, like, back in the day, Hunt was weird. It was like, you can boost your speed, and if you can break damage and shit like that, you can boost your crit, and you could turn your crit rate into bonus crit damage. But it was like, there were a few issues with that. Destruction was kind of okay, but it was kind of risky, because a lot of destruction buffs would lower your HP, so you're constantly, like, running low HP. And Blazar was just not super helpful. And, like, same for Preservation, is that, like, the damage you could do from having health, you were limited to how much shield you could have. Because, like, not all characters can give you shields. and so you could never get a really super thick shield. So when you did damage or took damage, you could do bonus splash damage based on your shield, but that would kind of cap out. So the damage just wasn't super great. Remembrance was kind of shit because it was purely about freeze at that point, and you needed like 2 or 3 3-star buffs to actually make it useful. Because the idea was that if you hit someone who is frozen, you can apply these you would wrap them up in ice spikes, called dissociation. And so the idea was that if you hit them when they're frozen, you dissociate them, which is essentially taking break damage from freeze again, but they're still frozen. Dissociation is still considered frozen. And then if you hit them when they're dissociated, you have a percentage chance of refreezing them. So essentially, you could freeze them, dissociate them, just back and forth, and you'd get these really ramping up. You get some really big damage numbers when going between the two states. But you needed a shitload of 3-star buffs. You needed 2 3-star buffs to properly do the dissociation freeze alternations. So it was really tricky to do. If you could get it to work, if you get all the correct buffs, it was fine. But getting all the correct buffs was a pain in the ass. And then dots were fine, but the problem, and you basically using your bonus power, the thing you're filling up your gauge for to apply dots. And then Kafka was kind of useful because she could detonate them prematurely, but it was still kind of meh. It was fine. Nihility was one I used a lot back in the day too, but then we got more elation. We got more follow-up attack characters, and I was like, oh, that's just fucking way better. Swarm was fine, but the Swarm buffs were fine. But I don't know. They've never really felt super broken. They felt really good in conjunction with other characters. If you're doing characters that do a lot of basic attacks, then propagation buffs really boost damage a lot. So that kind of feels good. But yeah, back in the day, of the paths, Elation was the one. And then Remembrance was kind of shit. It was you could always heal, and you were healing these bubbles, and the more you heal, the extra damage you could do. But I don't know, I was doing Swarm as Remembrance. I was doing the Swarm Disaster Simulated Universe with Remembrance, and that was just kind of rough, because the idea was that you had to go through every single node. You could, it was weird. It was just it just took time to do, because the best way to boost your healing would be to go over nodes that are afflicted by abundance, and then try to keep spreading abundance, and then making sure you go onto every single node that has it to increase your healing, because the more healing you do, the more your bubble stacks and the more damage you do when you attack. But it was just, Elation was by far the easiest path to do. It was just it provided a lot of buffs. It was super simple. It was super simple to trigger. It was super simple to build gauge. Yeah, it was just easy. And I mean, then they rebalanced it. So there's a lot of new buffs. Obviously, Remembrance. They changed Remembrance to have all about the memo sprites, and it's not about freeze anymore. So now that's actually pretty cool. I think Abundance is. I don't know. They've changed the types of buffs too. Destruction doesn't seem too bad, and the fact that we're getting multiple, the paths are lasting long enough so that we can get multiple buffs from all sorts of paths to make it, the interplay between them pretty cool. Same with the equations. The equations add some cool interplay between the paths, whereas before it was nope, you just kind of want to get as many buffs as possible within one path, because you would build a team around that path. You'd be oh, okay, your relations, you want to do follow-up attack damage, you want to make sure all your characters could do follow-up attack, and so you wouldn't really mix and match types that much. So you couldn't really, you just couldn't. You could get other buffs, and they would be kind of helpful, but not super helpful, because you usually stack your characters heavily into using one playstyle. And now with the equations, they're you can kind of mix and match now, and we'll add some extra bonuses for doing that to kind of offset the fact that you're not getting stuff that is for your character, and even maybe even swap out 1 or 2 characters to match the other paths, and to maximize both. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it, but I will be back on in a short while to pull for Saber and do the trials and then build her. I have all her materials. I think I should have all her materials. And I don't think I've rolled on her relics yet. So I've been farming her relic domain. I don't think I have Salsetta though. So, and it'll be on YouTube. But my guess is that probably in about an hour and a half, I'll try it out. And we shall see. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.